Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, read by Wil Wheaton on Audible. The real world in 2044? It sucks. So most of the world escapes its crappy reality in an online virtual reality game called The Oasis. Think World of Warcraft meets Wikipedia meets Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder version, meets the 80s, meets the 80s, meets the 80s! One of the creators, James Halliday, dies and leaves all of his worldly possessions to the first person that can find 3 keys, 3 gates and games, and then finds the hidden Easter egg at the end of the game. And thus begins the hunt! 5 years later, no one has found anything despite the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of egg hunters or gunters all around Oasis hunting for the keys. Enter our hero, Wade Watts, the Halliday and everything 80s obsessed super fanboy whose perspective we get the entire book. We get to hear every single 80s obsessed thing he has read, played, and watched in conjunction with everything Halliday apparently read, played, and watched, and every last bit of it is ground into your skull like an incredibly unfunny episode of I Love the 80s. Also, he embodies many things about nerd culture that make me kind of hate nerd culture at times. The first third of the book was nearly unbearable at times thanks to all of the world building. Though all we get of the real world is a general, stuff sucks in the 3rd decade of a worldwide recession. We get a lot of information on places in Oasis that we'll never get to see or experience in the book. Oh, and lots of 80s trivia. Lots of 80s trivia. And lists. Lots of lists of things. Thankfully, the rest of the book picks up steam and makes up for its incredibly annoying beginning. We get more immersed in the Oasis, we get an effective romance, 2-dimensional characters become more realized, and we actually get to see a little bit more of the real world, kind of. And the end? Simply epic. Now, do I recommend this book? Yes! It starts off slow and tedious, but shortly after the first key is found, I found it hard to stop listening to the audiobook, almost to the point of obsession. Ironic. I would recommend the print version over the audiobook because then you can just skip over the list of the 80s trivia and not have to listen through every name and score being listed every time the top 10 scoreboard is listed. Every time. Every name and score. Every time. Thank you all for watching this review, and please check out PapaKennMedia.com for more from yours truly and the Papa Kenn Media crew. If you'd like to see what inspired me to read Ready Player One, check out the guys at Continue Show on YouTube. I'm Papa Kenn, and I'll see you next review.